OSCAAR TV at the Sunset Speedway, night number 2 of a double shot weekend for the OSCAAR Modifieds, supporting tour for the OSCAAR Super Late Model Don Biederman Memorial Weekend. And standing alongside Gary McLean. Gary, you guys had a pretty solid run last night at a 4th place finish. A rare finish off the podium for you guys, but then not a good night for you guys tonight. I think you still managed the top 10 to the war of attrition, but just not a good run. What happened with you between you and Davey Terry on the front stretch when the 14 ended up in the wall?
Well, basically, starting out that race, start with last night, the car was bad. We had a problem with it. We sorted it out. Greg looked at it today, fixed it up. The car was really good. Just kind of waiting for that feature to come around. And start of the race, they got to racing pretty hard up there. And the 47 and the 14, I'm not sure exactly how it all took place, but they touched. The 14 got sideways, basically come to a stop. I tried to get to the outside on him, but there was just no room. Clipped him in the bumper just a little bit, and it turned him down into the fence and tore the left front off our car.
It's a real tough pill to swallow when I know that you and Davey have become pretty close over the last year. You've helped him a lot. You've kind of helped him learn some of the tricks of the trade of driving a modified. Is it that much harder to know that you wrecked, that you didn't wreck him, but you guys ended up with contact to two guys that get along well?
Well, when you're racing hard, stuff like that can take place. A lot more upset with the carrying on that a lot of the guys were doing tonight. It seemed like there was a lot of a lack of respect, I guess we'll call it. But between Davey and I felt awful watching him sitting there, knowing that he looked hurt. Man, the kid's a good kid. He's one of our brightest stars in this whole deal, and a respectful racer. He runs hard, but he runs clean. He doesn't squeeze up into you or any of that sort of stuff. And when those two guys made contact, I had nowhere to go, so I knew it wasn't really anything I could do about it. But you hate to see him wrecked. Especially when he's sitting there and looks like he's hurt and stuff.
He was okay in the end, so that is the good news. Let's flash forward on a positive note a little bit to 2 weeks at Sauble Speedway. You guys didn't have a good run there last year. It was a little bit of a tough night for you as well when Steve Smith walked away with the win that night. But I know that you guys still have a lot of experience there, and you've won quite a few races up there at the beach. What are you guys looking to do when you go there, besides obviously win a race?
Well, of course, we're definitely going to be looking for the win like usual. Last year with the cut tire, the car was still good, but it went from bad to worse real fast on that place. But we're gonna go back home and fix a lot of damage from tonight. The car didn't look too bad, considering the guys did a whale of a job on pit road getting us back out and running. I couldn't believe the car was as good as it was, knowing the stuff that was bent. So we're gonna go back home. Greg's already said we're gonna get the torches out and we're gonna start cutting some pieces off. The car's got to get better. Some of these guys are getting a little silly out there, so it's time to start, laying the law down, getting by them when you need to get by them instead of fooling around with it. So we're gonna go home. We're gonna get it fixed. These guys are great. They'll make it good, and we'll come back looking for the win.
Now, as much as you guys haven't finished on the podium in your last 2 races, which is a little bit strange by comparison to last season, is it nice to see that the series has picked up and the playing field is starting to level off, and we've got a lot of parity? As much as you guys like going to victory lane, It's got to be a lot of fun to race with some good race cars.
Oh, it's awesome, and that's what we all want. I was tickled to death to see like Barry Newman, Justin Mello, those guys show up, because these guys are good. And that's the sort of talent we're looking for in this class. That's what's going to bring this class up to the forefront in Southern Ontario, so that everybody knows what these modifieds are about. Getting those kind of guys up there, racing hard, it's hard when you're not winning, but on the same token, you can run with those guys and get out of the car thinking you had a whale of a good night, even if you were 5th or 6th, because it's good, clean racing, and everybody gives respect, everybody gives space, and you can trust running with those guys and know you're not going to get wrecked.
You mentioned Greg Gibson's a big part of this team, and obviously is at the forefront of this team, but I know Ken Bearfeltz is a big part of this team, and a whole bunch of other guys, and they're what makes this team go around when there's not a whole lot of sponsorship on this car.
Oh, for sure. They always put a ton of work in, and they just keep pushing all the time to try and make the car better, get it fixed. Stuff like tonight, there probably isn't many crews out there that could take and put the stuff on the car that they did and get that car as good as it was at the end. Like they were telling me that the car was turning as fast laps as anybody out there. I had no brakes. I wasn't going to tell the officials that, but we're riding around there with no brakes, trying to be careful, stay out of anybody's mess. And it's kind of a shame, because I think I could have drove back up through the field and got there.
Well, thanks for your time tonight, Gary. We look forward to seeing you at the beach at Sauble, and hopefully see you back in victory lane there.
I hope that all these guys there tonight that got tore up, get over their aggravations and get their cars back together and come race with us, because I know we can put on a better show than we did tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Gary McLean finishes outside the top 5 here for the first time in 2013, despite last night's finish. The OSCAAR Modifieds wrap up the second night of 2 at Sunset Speedway as part of the Don Biederman Memorial. For OSCAAR TV, I'm Clayton Johns.